Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Check, check. Check 1, 2, 3. I'm here, are you there? Okay. I wonder why. Well, it could be. Let me see. Let's bring it down. Is that better? Okay. Yeah, now I'm just test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, seeing if it's better at that volume level in the computer setting. Okay, is it? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, some of these have got knocked around. Let me try this again now. All the dials are up and down straight on the mixer board. Correct, yeah. Got all up and down. Yeah, it's down pretty low. I'm going to try this other headset also and see if it works better. Because one of these I remember people were saying was pretty scratchy. Does it sound scratchy or just overmodulating or what? I'm going to bring the master down some on the mixer boards. Does that sound any better there or there? This is the newest setting here, the mix of all the dials. Is that better? Okay, good. I'm going to try. Correct.
Oh, yeah, it was way too far. It was.
Yeah, okay. How about this? Is this any better? Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Do you hear any background buzzing? I don't know. That happened whenever I turned the black dial. All right. I'm going to try the other headset also just to see if it's working okay. Okay, this. Okay. Let me turn everything. No, there's no wind at all, really. This is headset number 2. Can you hear me? Headset number 2. And is that any better sounding than first headset?
Okay, good. Does it sound a lot better? Okay, perfect. Okay. Sounds good. How about if I go ahead and stop streaming and start again then, just for the sake of all, don't have to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to... Okay, I've stopped streaming now. Oops, no, I stopped recording. Hold on. Okay, thanks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lamar... Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lamar Viking Diamond for this evening's Junior Varsity 6A matchup between the Sam Houston Texans and your Lamar Vikings. Starting lineups for today's game. First for the visiting Texans. Batting first in left field, number 2, Israel Fuentes. Batting second at first base, number 14, Eric Vega. Batting third in center field, number 18, Alex De La Rosa. Batting fourth, starting pitcher, number 2, Eduardo Moscato. Batting fifth, catcher, Emiliano Ramirez. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 18, Clemente Guzar. Batting seventh, number 4, Javier Ruiz. Batting eighth, right fielder, number 19, Riley Cantu. Batting ninth, number 32, third baseman, Jesus Castillo. And they're led by Coach Ford. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Lamar Vikings. Batting first, in left field, number 17, P.J. Garrison. Garrison in left. Batting second, center fielder, number 7, Jared De La Parra. La Parra in center. Batting third, first baseman, number 25, Preston Gomez. Gomez at first. Batting fourth, at catcher, number 12, Colt Fuller. Fuller behind the plate. Batting fifth, third baseman, number 19, Andrew Gladback. Gladback at third. Batting sixth, on the mound, number 21, Cade Mason. Mason, the starting pitcher. Batting seventh, number 3, shortstop, Juan Rosa. Rosa at short. Batting eighth, number 8, right fielder, Cade Hoogerwerf. Hoogerwerf in right. Batting ninth, second baseman, number 23, Hayden Wolf. Wolf at second. The rest of your Lamar Vikings are Ben Sudbury, Jackson Walker, Matthew Clark, and Zach Hall. The manager is Katie Martin. The coach is Stephen Kelly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you rise as you are able, and please honor our nation's flag and remember all of those who have served our country so bravely and proudly as we play the national anthem. Hello, baseball fans, and welcome to this broadcast of Lamar Viking Junior Varsity Baseball, brought to you by the Lamar Viking Baseball Booster Club. I'm Bill Frawley. I'll be bringing you the live action. I'll probably have some help later on during the game. Want to thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Sam Houston Texans visiting the Lamar Vikings here at the Diamond on the north side of Arlington on the campus of Lamar High School. Second district game for both teams. Lamar defeated Sam Houston JV over at Sam Houston earlier this week on Monday evening. Starting pitcher for Lamar tonight is going to be Cade Mason. Mason played as a freshman, took last year off, and now he's back again as a junior on the junior varsity team. Starting battery for your Lamar Vikings tonight. Behind the plate, number 12, Colt Fuller. Fuller the catcher, and on the mound, your starting pitcher, number 21, Cade Mason. Mason, the starting pitcher for the Vikings. Beautiful evening for baseball here. Still sunny, of course, thanks to daylight saving time. Kind of a cloudy sky, but no chance of rain tonight, and the wind is very calm. The flag is flying to the northeast a little bit, so winds are out of the southwest, kind of moderate to a little bit heavier at times. Batting first for Sam Houston, number 2, left fielder, Israel Fuentes. And the first pitch from Cade Mason is in there for ball 1. Got Preston Gomez over at first base, Hayden Wolf at second. Here's the next pitch, outside for ball 2. Got Juan Rosa playing at shortstop, Andrew Gladback at third, Cade Hooverworth in right field, Jared De La Parra in center, and Parnell Garrison in left. And he finds the strike zone with that pitch, so now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Now that pitch catches the inside corner for strike 2. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. First batter of the game, nobody out, nobody on. Here's the next pitch. He shows bunt, puts it down the third baseline, picked up by Gladback, throws across the diamond just in time for out number 1. That'll go down as a 5-3. The next batter is first baseman number 14, Eric Vega. So now there's 1 out and nobody on for the Texans. Pitch in there for strike 1. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, foul back to the netting. Now the count goes 0-2. Batter again is first baseman for 14, Eric Vega for the Texans. And a strikeout.
Struck him out.
The next batter is center fielder number 18, Alex De La Rosa. So De La Rosa will come up to the plate. Center fielder for the Texans. Swings and misses, strike 1. Want to thank you for finding your way to the broadcast. There's a high fly ball going over towards first base. The second baseman calls it, makes the play. That's Hayden Wolf, and that'll be out number 3. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the top of the first. We'll be right back. have 3 down in the top of the first inning. No score. Batting first for the Vikings, left fielder number 17, Pernell Garrison.
Pernell Garrison leads off for the Vikings. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Garrison playing left field tonight. That pitch a little bit inside, swings on it, chops it back to the mound, and throws over to first base for out number 1. Go down as a 1-3 in case you're trying to score at home.
The next batter is center fielder number 7, Jared De La Parra.
Jared De La Parra comes up to the plate for the Vikings, playing center field tonight. The first pitch swung on. It's going to be a base hit straight up the middle into center field.
The next batter is number 25, first baseman Preston Gomez.
So Preston Gomez will come up to the plate, playing first base tonight. 1 out and 1 on. He's got a pretty powerful bat. See what he can do tonight. First pitch comes in pretty high, ball 1. And now the coach for the Texans is going to come out and talk to both the pitcher and the catcher. Baseball fans, in case there's someone you know that cannot be at the game tonight, or if you want to listen in while you're in the stands, anyone in the world can listen in and watch in on tonight's game by going to lamarnation.com. lamarnation.com, click on live stream, and can tune into the live internet broadcast of tonight's game. Okay, so the coach has had his visit on the mound. Everyone looks like they're ready to go. Umpire wasn't quite ready, and so that will go down as a no pitch. Preston Gomez had just stepped back into the box. And the next pitch, it's going to be a high fly ball that's going to go foul and just short of the netting in front of the visitor stands here. I want to thank Jay Ryan, our producer, and on our inaugural broadcast of the season. We're trying to get all the settings right, so hopefully the audio is coming in more and more clear as he helps get everything fine-tuned from our production studio. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch outside. Runner is going to second, and he's going to be plenty in time. That's going to be Jared De La Parra. Now on second base. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike to Preston Gomez. 1 out and 1 on. Here's the next pitch, submarine style pitch. That comes high and inside, and that moves the count to 3-1. Getting some instructions here. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit better with all the settings and the position of the microphone. And that pitch is going to be high for ball 4, and that will be a walk. I walk the line. Batting next for the Vikings, the catcher, number 12, Colt Fuller. Fuller comes up to the plate, and that pitch hits him.
It looks good on you.
Whoa, that'll leave a mark.
The next batter, number 19, Andrew Gladbach. Now the bases are loaded for Andrew Gladbach. With 1 out, the count is no balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, or excuse me, foul ball. And now the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Now time is called as the on deck batter for the Vikings, Cade Mason, comes over to retrieve that foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Jams him inside a little bit. He hits it to the pitcher. The pitcher picks it up, throws it as he falls down. It's going to be an error that he'll reach on. That's going to score 2 runs. Scoring for the Vikings, number 7, Jared De La Parra, and number 25, Preston Gomez. The next batter is number 21, pitcher Cade Mason. First pitch misses for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Cade Mason, our starting pitcher for the Vikings tonight. Now we got runners on first and third. Gladback's taking, he's going to steal second. Pitch is inside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes, and now runners on second and third. Still only 1 out. Vikings looking to get a pretty good lead here early. That pitch is well outside. Good job by the catcher, Emiliano Ramirez, to reach out and grab that so it doesn't sail back to the wall. And the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. And that's going to be ball 4, and that'll be a walk. The next batter for the Vikings, number 13, Juan Rosa. Now the base is loaded for Juan Rosa. Catcher goes out to talk to the pitcher for just a little bit. Bottom of the first inning, the Vikings lead 2-0. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Here's the next pitch. Just a little bit high. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. And that pitch finds the strike zone. The count goes to 2-1. That ball is hit out to right field. That'll be a base hit, and then it's bobbled. 1 run scores. That's Colt Fuller. Now coming across the plate, Andrew Gladback. Scoring on the plate, Colt Fuller and Andrew Gladback. The next batter is Cade Uberworth. Ball is hit sharply to the shortstop, picked up and thrown over, and it's not handled cleanly. 1 run scores, now 2 runs score. Scoring for the Vikings, Cade Mason and Juan Rosa. The next batter is number 23, Hayden Wolf. Pitch misses for ball 1.
Hey, what's up?
And I want to give a welcome to Al Qualman, just came in. Hopefully we'll throw a headset on him here in just a minute. Looks like maybe he's going to help out with scoreboard also. 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out. Pitch is inside for ball 3. So the pitching is struggling here so far in the bottom of the first inning for Sam Houston. Oh, excuse me, it's 2-1, my bad. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, a ground ball to the second baseman, picks it up, makes the throw to first, and it's not handled by the first baseman again. And that's going to put Uberworth on at first. Excuse me, Hayden Wolf at first. Number 17, Pernell Garrison.
Well, Al, welcome to the broadcast. How are you doing today?
Thanks, Bill. Doing great.
Good to see you here.
Be here. Great night.
Al is a longtime Lamar baseball fan. He's been helping up here in the booth this season with scoreboard and doing some announcing for us also. So glad to have him as part of the broadcast tonight.
Great to be here, Bill.
There's a little tap. It goes foul. And that'll be, I believe, the count if I have everything right. Just kind of getting things resettled here. Pull the mic just closer to you. There you go. So checking for the umpire to make sure we have the count correct. I believe it's no balls and 1 strike. There's 1 out. And we've got runners at first and second. The score is 6-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. And it's 1-1. There we go. I knew I had something a little bit off. Here's the next pitch. That's swung on, and that's going to go foul over the visitor stand. So it'll be 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good cut by the batter on that one, Bill.
Garrison up for his second time in this inning. He got a single the first time up. There's a ball hit to the second baseman. He throws over to second. There's an out. And so the Garrison will reach on a fielder's choice. No one scores on that one.
Lead runner moves up to third, Bill, and we got runners at first and third now with 1 out.
2 outs.
2 outs.
Yeah, so good. Thanks. The next batter for the Vikings, number 7, Jared De La Parra. So De La Parra comes up for his second time. Oh, and actually, it was De La Parra that got on with a single. Garrison grounded out to the pitcher his first at bat. So now I'm getting my numbers and everything straight. So De La Parra got a single last time. The count 1 ball and no strikes. There's runners on the corners, 2 outs. The runner goes to second. Catcher indifference. He's not going to throw, and that'll keep Hugerworth at third base. So now there's no force at second.
Runner had a good lead there, Bill. Looks like he was going to have the base, even without the catcher indifference.
That pitch is going to be inside. 3-0. And what happens a lot of the time up here is we get distracted when there's a base runner and forget to mark the pitch up on the scoreboard. That's a strike, so the count goes 3 balls and 1 strike.
When there's a base runner, the quality of the scorekeeping does definitely go down. I can tell you that. It's a pine, that's a walk.
Number 25, Preston Gomez.
Gomez up here with the bases loaded, so we'll see 2 outs.
First pitch to Gomez misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes.
Got a beautiful evening here. Looks like the wind's blowing out of the southwest.
Yeah, just a nice breeze. That pitch misses for ball 2. Unfortunately, Al, I've noticed this when I saw the freshman team play, or excuse me, the varsity team play this past Tuesday night. Sam Houston, I've seen this at different levels. Unfortunately, we're struggling with pitching this season as they have sometimes in the past. That was a good pitch. That's going to be a high fly ball out to deep left field, and that's going to go out to the fence. And so this is going to be a stand-up double.
It's going to score 2 and 3.
Stand-up double for Preston Gomez, scores 3 runs, and now the next batter, Colt Fuller.
Preston Gomez hit that one off the fence. That was just an eyelash away from being a grand slam home run, Bill.
It was really close, wasn't it?
That ball really carried because it did carry with the wind.
Now Fuller comes up to he hits the first pitch foul over the visitor's bullpen. No balls and 1 strike to Colt Fuller. Here's the next pitch. That's going to be a line drive out into right center. That's a gapper. That's going to roll to the fence. That's going to score Gomez. And looks like Fuller's going to be in with a triple.
Stand-up triple.
Stand-up triple for Fuller, scores Gomez. The next batter is number 19, Andrew Gladback. And it looks like we're going to actually have timeout called, and they're going to take a visit to the mound. That'll be the second visit of the inning, and so that's going to close out the game for the starting pitcher, Eduardo Moscato. And waiting to see who's going to be the next pitcher.
Look at Moscato struggle with his control a little bit and then put a couple over the plate that were hit very hard by the last 2 batters for the Vikings, driving in 4 runs.
And it's going to be number 14. Eric Vega is going to move over from first base. Your attention please, now pitching for the Texans, number 14, Eric Vega. Vega now pitching. Going into first base, number 21, Isaiah Cruz. Cruz at first base for the Texans. Well, Al, it's a 10-0 lead with 2 outs. And this is the way sometimes these games go with some limited pitching opportunities and ability. And I know sometimes different things happen to schools, whether it's grades or kids coming in and out of the program. But unfortunately right now tonight for the JV team from Sam Houston, the starting pitcher wasn't able to do well.
No, looks like he was really struggling with his control early on, and then when he did get some over the plate, they were hit well by the Lamar Vikings. You'd like to see the games be competitive, but it doesn't look like it's going to be today. I mean, we'll see. Still a lot of time left in this game.
We are still trying to adjust some technology here, volumes and controls. Thanks to some of our listeners who are able to tell us how some things are going. And again, thanks to Jay Ryan, our producer back at our studio headquarters. And the pitcher has warmed up now. So Andrew Gladback comes up to the plate for his second time this inning. He reached on an error by the pitcher, who picked up the kind of tapper ground ball and then was falling forward as he tried to throw the runner out. There's a ground ball hit to the second baseman, picks it up, throws over, caught by the first baseman. That'll be out number 3. That'll go down as a 4-3, gets number 19. So after 1 inning, it's 10-0 in favor of Lamar. We'll be back. Well, welcome back to the broadcast. We have completed one inning, about to go into the top of the second. Leading off for the Texans.
Billy, while you're away, I know the concessionaires down there were cooking some popcorn because it smells so good.
Boy, it sure does smell good. And popcorn is one of my favorite things to eat, next to Frito pie if I'm at a concession stand.
I thought you liked the nachos with a lot of cheese and jalapenos.
Right, Frito pie with
Frito
all that.
pie.
Yeah, definitely.
That's your number. That's your go-to.
And that's a strike of the foul ball. Yeah, that's my go-to concession stand food. You know, that's how I judge the quality of concession stand food also.
I'm more a nachos and cheese and jalapenos fan myself.
0-1 to count. There's another foul ball that goes over the netting, so it's going to be no balls and 2 strikes.
Getting ahead of the count early here.
Yeah, definitely so. On the 0-2 pitch, swung on a miss for strike 3.
Looked like a curveball, Bill. Really good pitch.
The next batter is number 12, Emiliano Ramirez. So now there's 1 out, nobody on. The first pitch is going to miss for ball 1.
Ramirez batting left-handed. Looks like that just missed on the corner on that second pitch.
So 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's going to be a high fly ball. And that'll be caught by the catcher, Colt Fuller. Go down as an F2.
Those are always tough for the catcher. Fuller did a great job.
The next batter is number 18, shortstop Clemente Gazar.
Fuller did a great job tracking that foul ball behind him.
Are you able to hear me in your headset?
Yeah.
So now there's nobody on and 2 outs. Sixth batter of the game. No one's reached the first base yet so far. Cade Mason on the mound for the Vikings. And a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Good pitch by Mason on the outside corner. That pitch a little down low. The count goes to 1-1.
So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the second inning. Vikings lead 10-0. And that pitch a miss, and it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is outside, and the count goes to 3-1.
See if Mason can come back here and throw, not lose this batter with the 2 outs.
And gets the inside corner. Now, just like you said, Al kind of goes back and finds the edge of the strike zone, so doesn't lose him yet. 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count. Bouncing ball back to Cade, and he'll jog towards first base and throw the batter out, and that'll go down as a 1-3. And we'll be back for the bottom of the second inning in just a few moments. off in the bottom of the second inning for the Vikings. Pitcher number 21, Cade Mason. Well, welcome back to the broadcast. We are going into the bottom of the second inning. Of course, got Al Qualman over here doing some color commentary. I'm Bill Frawley, bringing you all the action live tonight. This is the JV game. The Lamar Vikings hosting the Sam Houston Texans. They lead 2-0 going into the bottom of the 10-0 going into the bottom of the second inning. And then following this game, we'll have another broadcast of the freshman game. Ground ball hit to the second baseman on the first pitch, throws over for the easy out. Go down as a 4-3. So one pitch, one out this inning. A little bit of a change of pace here from what we saw before.
Quick for the Texans there. One pitch, one out.
Number 13, Juan Rosa. So Juan Rosa comes up to the plate. Now back in the first inning, he got a single. He might have had another at bat. He did score a run. There's a fly ball. It's going to find its way in fair territory in right field. He'll take a turn. He's going to test the arm. It's bobbled, and there won't be a throw. Actually, there is one, and he has to get back to second base. So he'll get a double for that. Juan Rosa.
Dropped in there. Just behind the first baseman in the right field.
Number 8, Cade Hugelworth. You know, I don't know, someone may actually, I'll call that a single, and he went to second on the bobble, the error, but the heck, we'll give him a double up here.
Yeah. Well, he forced the issue, definitely forced the issue by being aggressive on the base pass, and
well, that's a good
lot
point.
of times when you do that, the right fielder, I think, got a little anxious and bobbled the throw, so he did force the issue.
That's a good point. I like that analysis. So the first pitch misses for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. There's 1 out, 1 on at second. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a high fly ball. Looks to be catchable by the shortstop, and he does bring it in for out number 2. Go down as an F6.
Runner stayed on second.
Number 23, Aiden Wolf.
So Hayden Wolf comes up to the plate for his second time in the game. He reached on an error back in the first inning. And that pitch just misses high for ball 1.
A little high, but the pitcher for the Texans really has good control so far.
Yeah, different story from the first guy that we saw. And then the first baseman playing a little bit better than this guy did when he was at first. The pitcher moved over from first. There's a line drive out into left field. That'll be a base hit. And Rosa's going to score. Scoring on the play, Juan Rosa.
Clean single there, line drive to left field. Left fielder handled it well, run scored.
Number 17, Pernell Garrison. First pitch swung on. It's going to be a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. And now we'll have runners at first and second.
Clean single there, Bill. The Texan pitcher still pounding the plate.
The batter is number 10, Matthew Clark. Well, the coach threw me a bit of a curveball. I was all queued up and ready for Jared De La Parra, but now Matthew Clark comes up to bat, being inserted into the lineup. He looks at a first pitch outside for ball 1.
Always got to be on your toes.
Runners at first and second, 2 outs. There's a good pitch. There's a good hit right up the middle. That'll be a base hit. And we're going to have Hayden Wolf score. Scoring on the play, Hayden Wolf.
Last 3 hits by the Texans, Bill, have all been sharply hit and clean hits.
The next batter for the Vikings, number 9, Jackson Walker. So already, Coach Kelly putting some other guys into the lineup, or at least giving them a chance to hit. We have 2 runs in this inning.
Runner takes second on catcher indifference.
And what was that first pitch? Was that a ball, I think? I couldn't tell. I was looking down at my little score sheet. I believe the count now, 1 ball and no strikes.
We're going to say it's a ball.
That's what we'll say until the umpire tells us differently.
Until he tells us differently.
We are multitasking up here. Broadcasting, keeping the scoreboard going, playing some music, including walk-up songs. There's a high fly ball that goes down the first base line.
This could be fair, and it is.
And it drops just fair. And so Garrison scores and Hall scores. Scoring are Garrison and Clark.
That ball dropped right behind the first
Hall. That
baseman.
was Matthew Clark that scored.
Right behind the first baseman. Really couldn't have been placed better. Scored 2 runs on that blooper.
And now we've got a batter coming up wearing number, it's 11. Ben Sudbury. I thought it said 14 at first. The batter is number 11, Ben Sudbury. So it's, I'm not doing a good job of looking over at the on-deck circle to see what number's coming up next, but
19's coming up next.
Thank you. I see Gladback's coming up next, so some of these guys are missing on their walk-up song. Ground ball to the shortstop, picks it up. No one's at second.
Oh.
And so we're going to call that an E4 because the second baseman was not in position to make that play.
Difficult play there. The shortstop handled it cleanly, but the second baseman just didn't cover. That would have been the 3rd out.
Number 19, Andrew Gladback. Yeah, definitely should have been.
Yeah, the Texans should have 3 outs now, but still 2 outs now with 2 on.
Yep, so Gladback is up. First pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. The strike zone might be widening just a little bit here, which I definitely understand. No balls and 1 strike. There's a ground ball that goes foul back over to the Viking dugout. Now the count goes no balls and 2 strikes.
Right-hand hitting Gladback had a good cut at that last ball.
Runners at first and second for the Vikings. They lead 14-0 here in the bottom of the second. That pitch does miss. Outside, ball 1.
Lots of sharply hit balls by the Vikings this inning, Bill.
Yeah, definitely so.
Pitcher for the Texans is throwing strikes, is keeping the ball, and has been ahead in most counts.
That's a good pitch. Ground ball to the third baseman. He can't handle that one. That's going to roll into left field. And that's going to score Jackson Walker. Scoring is Jackson Walker. The next batter is number 21, Cade Mason.
We've now batted around in this inning, Bill. Mason was the leadoff hitter.
Correct. Very good. Yep.
Wind's now almost completely died. Looking at the center field flag, and it's still waving slightly, although it comes to rest.
First pitch misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Mason. He swings and misses that one, so the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs, and like you said, Al, earlier, there's at least one opportunity, if not a couple here, that there could have been the 3rd out already.
Yeah.
And even before some of these most recent runs have scored.
Yeah, you got to feel a little bit for the Texan pitcher here.
Yeah. it's one thing when the pitching is not as sharp, but when your fielding doesn't back you up well, it just extends the inning for you.
Yeah, that's difficult for the pitcher.
And count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, the 2 outs, 2 on. Runners at second and third for the Vikings. Here's the next pitch, and that hits Mason, and that'll put him on.
That'll load up the bases.
Yes, it does. And that's going to bring up Juan Rosa. Number 13, Juan Rosa. Juan's got one of those fun Latin walk-up songs, and didn't get to hear quite as much of it as we normally do, but that's a fun one, lively. First pitch misses to him, so it'll be 1 ball and no strikes. And again, 2 outs. Bases loaded, yeah.
I'm going to start dancing next time he's up. All right.
We're going to turn on the webcam so people can see you and hear on the computer. We got the camera pointed out towards the field right now up in the crow's nest, but I can fix that.
We'll move around.
That's a high fly ball that goes out into center field. He looks like he's got it played, and he does for out number 3. But not before the Vikings get 5 runs, take a 15-0 lead. We'll be back in just a little bit for the top of the third. Leading off in the top of the third inning for the Texans, number 4, second baseman Javier Ruiz. So here we are back. Welcome back to the broadcast. We are going into the top of the third inning. The Vikings lead 15-0. They got 10 in the first, 5 in the second. And the first pitch from Cade Mason this inning misses for ball 1, low and outside.
I want to say a big hello to Leslie Clawman, who's out listening to this baseball broadcast out in the garden.
Nice. That pitch is going to miss for ball 2. Hello, Leslie. Thanks for tuning in. I want to thank Leslie and Al for coming in to help during the tournament a week or so ago. Help finish off announcing and keeping scoreboard on the game. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Leslie learned how to work the scoreboard. Enjoyed coming out.
Oh, excuse me, it's 2 and 1. My bad. I think I misled you somewhere, Al. And now it's 3-1.
And we'll see if the pitcher can work his way back again from the 3-1 count.
Got the inside corner there, and the count goes full.
Hopefully same formula as last batter, Bill, in the last inning.
And the next pitch, outside misses. That'll be ball 4, so that's a walk. The first walk issued by Mason today, and the first base runner.
Mason worked his way out of the last 3-1 count in the top of the second, but couldn't do it there.
The next batter, number 19 right fielder, Riley Cantu. So now Riley Cantu will come up for his first plate appearance with nobody out, runner at first base. Cade Mason came with the heat that time, and strike one. No balls and 1 strike.
Really good pitch hit the outside corner, good velocity.
And the next pitch just misses outside for ball 1.
Looked like he tried to extend the strike zone there a bit. Thanks.
Foul ball comes back to the net, and that'll make the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Mason now ahead of this pitcher. No, excuse me, this batter. As the on-deck batter for the Texans comes over to pick up that ball. Returns it back to the catcher. Runner at first base just taking about a 2.5 step lead. Not too much, but the lefty on the mound can see him all the way. That pitch was looking high and outside. Batter swung and missed for strike 3.
Struck him out.
First out of the inning.
Really good pitch by Mason.
The next batter, third baseman, number 32, Jesus Castillo. So the number 9 batter comes up to the plate. Mason throws back to first. Runner gets back in plenty of time. Again, he didn't have very much of a lead.
Mason got the last batter chasing up high.
Here's the pitch. And that's down the middle for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Next pitch. And strike 2. Almost in the same spot it looked like, Al.
Sure did. Good pitch.
Just at that bottom of the strike zone, I think. So no balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. And swung on and missed for strike 3. That's the 4th strikeout of the game now for Cade Mason in 3 innings.
Mason got that batter chasing as well.
Number 2, Israel Fuentes. So Israel Fuentes comes up for his second time. He grounded out to the third baseman back in the first inning. His first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him this inning, and it hits for strike 1. Well, I thought that he wasn't going to call that. It's a
little delayed sign there, waiting for the call.
I thought it was a strike. It looked like in that same spot those other ones were, but then I thought, well, maybe he's not going to, but there's the call.
We did get the call. Better late than never.
True. Cade Mason, the left-handed pitcher, so he's got a great view of what's going on at first base. Only about a 2.5, now a little bit longer lead. Now he steps back towards first. Here's the pitch. And that's in there for strike 2. So Cade Mason overall, we're not keeping track of balls and strikes here, but I can tell you he's thrown a lot more strikes than balls.
He's been ahead of most of the hitters. He's throwing well. He's got good velocity on his fastball.
And the batter shows bunt, misses, and it's a strikeout. In the top of the third inning, no runs, no hits, 1 left on base, and the score remains 15-0. We'll be back in just a few moments for the bottom of the third. off for the Vikings in the bottom of the third inning, number 8, Cade Hugerworth.
Hugerworth got some hard rock intro there.
Oh yeah. Most of these guys pick their own walk-up songs. If they don't give me one, I'll assign one to him, but that's his. It's a Pantera song. First pitch, he swings on and misses. No balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the third inning. That pitch goes inside just a little bit. He hops around just to miss being hit by that one. On deck, we've got Hayden Wolf coming up to bat next.
Anybody have any country western walk-ups, Bill?
Yeah, Jackson Walker does, and he was up a little while ago. There's a high fly ball out into left field. It bounces off the glove, so that's going to go down as an E7. And that'll put Hugerworth on at second. Number 23, Hayden Wolf. So Hayden Wolf comes up to the plate. A little back and black there.
So Bill, noticed the sun just set, and we now have shadows all over the field. Lights are on.
Yep. Again, a really beautiful night for baseball. First pitch is going to miss low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. There's nobody out. The leadoff batter, Cade Hugerworth, he reached on an error when a ball bounced off the left fielder's glove, and he stands on second base now, taking about a 4-step lead, pretty good lead. And that pitch is up high and inside, and there's nowhere Wolf could go to miss that or avoid that. So he gets hit by a pitch, and he's on first base, brings up number 17, Pernell Garrison.
You're right, Bill. Wolf had no place to go there. That pitch was all over him. Hitting near the head.
Yeah, kind of up in the collarbone or shoulder area, right?
Shoulder area.
That pitch is going to be well outside. It had a wicked turn on it. So that'll be 1 ball and no strikes to Garrison. His previous at bat, he led off the, no, he didn't lead off second batter, I think, in the second inning. He got a double. Then he eventually scored, part of that 15-0 lead. Runners at first and second, both with pretty decent leads. Pitcher not checking them. There's a looping ball that's going to go just out of the reach of the shortstop for a base hit. That's going to score, well, here comes a throw. That's going to score Hugerworth. And the other runners advance to second and third. Scoring is number 8, Hugerworth.
Big throw might have gotten him there, Bill. The throw was a little offline, but was there in time.
Number 10, Matthew Clark. So Matthew Clark comes up to the plate for his second time in the game. And the first pitch misses, 1 ball and no strikes. Runners at second and third. 16-0 for the Vikings. And there's a line drive base hit out to left field. That's going to score Hayden Wolf and Garrison.
That got past the left fielder, Bill.
And now they're taking the time, throwing it back in. And because of, I'll just call it kind of apathy, Clark's on third.
Yeah, got past the left field.
Number 9, Jackson Walker. Here's your country song there, Al. There you go. Picking wildflowers, I think. There's a high fly ball. It's going to go foul out into the bullpen.
Well hit.
Now 18-0 here in the bottom of the third.
Still no outs.
That's true. I just looked up and saw that also. No balls and 1 strike. Matthew Clark, the runner at third base for the Vikings. It's a slow pitch. Good base hit just past the third baseman. And Clark will score. Scoring is Matthew Clark.
Hard hit ball there.
Number 11, Ben Sudbury.
Sunbury coming out as catcher during the game. And that may drop, and it does.
And that's going to be a base hit. So now the runners at first and second. And we've got another guy inserted in. It's number 19. Oh, this is Andrew Gladback. So he's up at his spot. I've got my thing a little bit off here. Number 19, Andrew Gladback.
That lasted another bloop single for the Vikings, Bill. It's at least 3 that I've seen this game.
Well, the first pitch to Gladback, that's going to be a base hit out into left field, just inside the third base line. And Jackson Walker scores. Scoring on the play, Jackson Walker. Number 21, Cade Mason. So now Cade Mason, the pitcher, he's going to come up to bat again. And I lost track of what he did back in the second inning. I was just trying to keep up with the flurry of changing the lineup and runs and such. He swings, misses.
Well, he batted twice.
Oops.
And the first time he made an out, and the second time he got on base.
Thank you, Al. And man, you're doing that without any kind of notes in front of you. You just have one of those memories, don't you? You're like that guy on the softball team. They go, I remember this guy who hit it right over the third baseman's head last time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I don't, but I'll catch it if it comes
So
to
the secret there is if you don't know, just make it up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
Well, that ball goes foul just off the first base line.
And if you sound confident at all, it's all good, right?
That's right, that's true. All right, no balls and 2 strikes to Cade Mason. 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Vikings lead 20-0.
Oh, that was well hit. Just foul. Mason hit that ball well. Line drive. Just outside the right field foul line. Left hand hitting Mason.
And now the count, you've got an 0-3 count up there. They only count strikes the 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, and if
you mean the third foul ball is a strike too?
Not in this league.
That's not the way it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the catcher and the pitcher go out to talk. They're probably talking to just making fun of the guys up here keeping the scoreboard.
He's got 3 strikes on. We thought we had an out there, but the scoreboard keeper.
So that goes down as an ES, error on the scoreboard.
ES.
Yep.
We've had several ESs so far.
That's all right. We have EAs on me, they're on the announcer. That pitch just misses.
Just misses outside.
Yeah, it's a 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, runners at first and second for the Vikings.
Oh, we got time.
Pitcher is taking his glove off, readjusting his shoelaces, it looks like. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss. And a strikeout to Cade Mason.
That's the third strike.
There you go. That won't count.
That one's legit.
Number 13, Juan Rosa. Y'all can't see it, but Al and I are both dancing around just a little bit in our seats anyway. We didn't stand up quite yet. Maybe
walk-up music for Juan Rosa. We like that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe in the fourth inning stretch, we'll actually get up and dance. Oh, bouncing ball hit just over the head of the third baseman, out of reach of the shortstop. That'll go down as a single, and that will load the bases once again for the Vikings. And bring up Cade Hoogerworth.
Seeing I hit there, Bill.
The next batter, number 8, Cade Hoogerworth.
That last ball, the third baseman just missed catching it, and then it went underneath the glove of the shortstop. So, your definition of a seeing eye single right there.
Pretty much.
First pitch strike to Hoogerville.
Hoogerworth. Yep. So no balls and one strike. Bases loaded, only one out here in the bottom of the third. And the next pitch, swung on and missed, and that'll be strike 2. Hayden Wolf on deck for the Vikings. Here's the pitch that's well outside. It gets past the catcher, but now Coach Kelly, in good sportsmanship, holding the runners from scoring and advancing. So no one's going to move around. The base is still loaded.
Well, it is good sportsmanship. It's strictly station to station at this point, with the score 20-0.
One ball and 2 strikes to Hoogerworth. Here's the pitch. That's outside, bounces off the catcher. No one advancing. Pitcher still doing the smart thing, covering home. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Al, you caught a big fish today. You showed me a picture of a little while ago. What kind of fish was that?
That was a black bass, Bill.
Nice.
Out there at some of the lakes at Interlaken. Met a friend of mine. Introduced me to the area.
That's a good pitch, but that's a good hit. Base hit out into left field. And they're going to score 2 on this one.
Sharply hit ball.
19. Scoring of Ben Sudbury and Andrew Gladback. The next batter, number 23, Hayden Wolf.
Yes, Bill, it was a good day out at the lake today. Really warm day. Fish were biting.
That first pitch swung on, and that's going to go out. Oh, you can clear the count. And foul ball, so no balls and 1 strike to Hayden Wolf. So we've got a twilight doubleheader here tonight. This JV game. That pitch finds the corner of the strike zone, so now it's no balls and 2 strikes to Hayden Wolf, the number 9 hitter for the Vikings.
Freshman coming up after this game.
Yep. That'll be a fun one. And the 0-2 pitch just misses for ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third for the Vikings. There's 1 out. The score is 22-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Here's the next pitch. That's outside for ball 2. That one just floated away from him. I think his release point might have just been a little bit too far into his follow-through. Let go of that one just a little bit too late, and it floated out. Two-two pitch coming on its way. And that goes outside. Count is full.
Pitcher works the count full here after being ahead 0-2.
See what happens here on the payoff pitch. Here it comes. Swung on. That's going to go just foul and just out of reach of the first baseman, Isaiah Cruz, who made an attempt to get over and get it, but just out of his reach, and the count stays full. So again, one out here, full count. Runners at second and third for the Vikings. Here's the pitch. And that's going to miss for ball four, and that will load the bases once again.
Losing the batter after an 0-2 count.
That's going to make it tough on a pitcher. Number 17, Pernell Garrison. Coach Kelly, I saw giving him some advice on his way out to the batter's box. Not sure what he might have been saying. Swing and a miss there for strike one. No balls and one strike.
Looks like he's telling him to swing away.
Probably swing just at anything that's even anywhere near close. Just to put the ball in play, keep things going here. Our varsity team just underway. I don't have any update, but they're over at Sam Houston. Started at 7 o'clock. That pitch finds the strike zone, so no balls and two strikes.
Pitcher ahead again here.
And there's a strikeout.
Nice.
Number 10, Matthew Clark.
Nice curveball by the pitcher on that last batter. Had him looking.
First pitch to Clark. He swings on. That was well inside. So start off with an 0-1. I think Al just kind of put it out there. I think we're going to see some strikeouts and miss swings because I think Coach Kelly has said just swing at anything. Let's keep the game moving. And he swings and misses there for strike two. No balls and two strikes.
Better literally swinging out of his shoes there on his first two pitches.
He did a 360 there, didn't he?
Yeah.
At least a 270.
He's leaving nothing behind there on those swings.
Yep, on the 0-2 count. Holds back on that one that's inside and low, and so that'll be one ball and two strikes. Bases loaded. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And he swung even before the pitch made it halfway there for a strikeout, and that'll end the third inning.
So clearly Coach Kelly is giving some advice to swing at every pitch on good sportsmanship.
We'll be back for the top of the fourth in just a few moments. Welcome back to the broadcast. We're into the top of the fourth inning. Leading off in the top of the fourth inning, number 14, Eric Vega. Now the first pitch to Vega, in there for strike one. He struck out swinging his first at bat back in the first inning. Number 2 hitter in the order for Sam Houston. That pitch is going to be a little bit high for ball one.
Mason's still working on the complete game shutout here.
That pitch misses for ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. And that pitch catches the outside corner.
Mason doesn't look like he's laboring at all, Bill. He's still got a lot left in the tank from what I can see.
Yeah, he might only be throwing like 75% overall. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3.
Another strikeout. How many is that for the game, Bill?
Let me check that here in just a second. Next batter is number 18, Alex De La Rosa. I show that as the 6th strikeout for Cade Mason tonight pitching.
Really good game. First pitch in there for a ball to De La Rosa.
Pitch is going to be inside. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strike, 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Now swing and a miss for strike 2. That pitch a little bit toward the outside edge, but he got him to chase it. So now the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on. And strike 3.
Swing and a miss by the batter. Another strikeout for Mason.
That looks like 7 now on the night. Number 21, Isaiah Cruz.
Bill, from our perch here in the press box, we can see I-30, and it looks like our usual 6 p.m. traffic jam has now unsnarled, and things are moving smoothly.
First pitch misses to Cruz for ball 1. Yeah, it was jammed up pretty good there, about the usual time, around between 5 and 6, and first pitch here at 6 o'clock. But yeah, 7:30, and everything's moving smoothly. That pitch misses high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
So can we charge those folks at the 6 p.m. If the traffic stopped and they're watching them games? Can we charge them for a ticket?
That's it. That's it. Especially if someone honks to get them to move.
I'm sure they're getting, can get a view of the game from I-30.
Looked like he was thinking about swinging. He missed. Or didn't. I mean, he held back, so 3 balls and 1 strike. I just about threw you off there. 3-1 to count. Nobody on, 2 outs. And strikeout number 3 for the inning.
That's strike
I'm
2.
sorry, strike 2. Man, see, I'm glad you're doing that. Full count. I threw myself off, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count. And there's the strike 3. Strikes out the side.
You were just thinking ahead.
No runs, nobody left on base in the top of the 4th inning, and that takes us to the 4th inning stretch.
I'm going to get up.
off in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Vikings, number 9, Jackson Walker. So Jackson Walker is going to lead off for the Vikings here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Vikings lead 22-0. Walker had a single back in the 3rd inning. Scored. Looks at the first pitch kind of inside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. And there's a pitch in the strike zone. 1-1.
Pitcher for the Texans has done a good job of throwing strikes.
That pitch will hit just in front of the catcher. He does a good job to keep it in front of him. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Walker. Another pitch in the dirt. Count goes to 3-1.
I jinxed him.
Yeah, sure enough.
Good control to this point. Let's see if he can come back.
That's going to be high, and that's ball 4. Puts him on. Number 11, Ben Sudbury. But first we're going to have a visit to the mound. So with the score 22-0, that's going to be it looks like, for number 14, Eric Vega, as a pitcher. He started at first base, moved over to pitcher. Looks like he's going to go back to first. And now, number 21, Isaiah Cruz, who came in to play first a little while ago, is going to come pitch. Your attention, please. Now pitching for Sam Houston, number 21, Isaiah Cruz. Cruz now pitching for the Texans. So were you able to find it at all?
I haven't. All right, let me get.
Sudbury shows bunt on the first pitch to him with the new pitcher, Isaiah Cruz. He pulls back and the ball goes outside. Ball 1. Meanwhile, Walker advanced to second base. He's showing bunt again, pops it up. That'll go foul for 1 ball and 1 strike.
Cruz, the Texans' third pitcher.
There's a little bunt push forward to the pitcher. And throws over to first base for out number 1 of the inning. That'll go down as a 1-3.
Looks like Cruz throws a lot of breaking pitches.
Number 19, Andrew Gladback. The ball gets away from the catcher there. Walker moves to third base.
Looks like Coach Kelly has now instructed some of the players to do bunting.
You know, and it's a decent time to try to, you know, improve a skill that you don't get to use that often in a live situation. You know, trying the bunting in the batting cage or with the pitching machine does some good, but yeah, it's a good chance to try to do that.
Against some real live pitching here, and they will need that skill later in the season.
Definitely so.
So, not a bad strategy.
Yeah. Shows bunt, and it comes down over his head, so it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out. Again, we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. JV Vikings hosting the Texans from Sam Houston High School just across town here in Arlington. Shows bunt. Pulls back. That goes outside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Cruz struggling here, trying to find the plate.
Yeah, a lot of things are just tailing off, and I think it might be his release point. He's just following through and releasing too late. That's a pitch down the middle. He bunts it back to the pitcher, picks it up, throws to first for out number 2.
Runner on third stays there, so no doubt the coach is in an act of sportsmanship is not.
Number 21, Cade Mason.
He's not trying to run up the score at all, so showing good sportsmanship.
Now the Viking pitcher comes up. He's only allowed 1 base runner. He's got a no-hitter going tonight, Cade Mason, our pitcher. He issued 1 walk back in the 3rd. Now he comes up to the plate. 2 outs and a runner on 3rd. First pitch, he swings on, and that's going to go over the right fielder's head. That'll score Walker. And Mason will stop at second with a double. Scoring is Jackson Walker. And the next batter is number 13, Juan Rosa.
Left-hand hitting Mason hit a rope to right field over the right fielder's head all the way to the wall, and that's a stand-up double.
And the first pitch in there for strike 1.
Batters again looking to bunt. He pulled back there.
That pitch will miss for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner on second. Now the Vikings lead 23-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. He shows bunt. Pushes it down the first base line. The first baseman comes up and gets it. Throws back to first. The second baseman covering just right. And that'll end the inning with a 3-4 on the bunt play. 23-0. We'll be back for the top of the 5th in just a little while. Leading off in the top of the 5th inning for the Texans, number 12, Emiliano Ramirez.
Bill, I'm sure a lot of our audience out there today is watching college basketball the last 2 days. A couple games of local interest here in the state of Texas. Texas A&M won today.
Yeah, my Aggies beat Providence.
Beat Providence. Texas Longhorns had a close one. They lost by 4 to Nevada.
Oh, wow. I missed the end of that. I didn't hear how that one ended up. Thanks. That's too bad. A Big 12 and a Texas team out now. That pitch is going to hit the strike zone, so it looks like we've got 1 ball and 1 strike. Cade Mason still on the mound for the Vikings going into the 5th inning. He's only allowed 1 base runner. That was a walk back in the 3rd inning. There's ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike.
TCU Horned Frogs, Bill, are playing tonight. First time in a long time since Billy Tubbs was around these parts that the Horned Frogs have made the tournament. So congratulations to them.
Yeah. Of course, the Longhorns' previous coach, Rick Barnes, over at Tennessee, and he's got them doing pretty well. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Ramirez. Number 5 hitter in the order for the Texans. Here's a pitch, swung on, it goes foul. Count stays at 2-2.
Another Big 12 team, West Virginia Mountaineers, had quick work of Murray State. They won today.
And there's a strikeout. The next batter is number 18, Clemente Guizar. First pitch in there for strike 1. That foul ball is going to go over toward the bullpen for the visitor side, but Walker comes off first base and makes the catch for out number 2. Go down as an F3.
Nice catch by Walker there. Those balls are difficult. He tracked it well. Got the second out.
The next batter is number 4, Javier Ruiz.
First pitch strike to Ruiz on the outside corner.
That pitch just misses. It looks like probably a little bit low. 1 ball and 1 strike. And now this is probably going to do it here just outside for ball 2, because we won't have to come up to bat here in the 5th inning. And typically, for anyone that's listening from out of the area, out of the state, in high school baseball in Texas, 7 innings is usually what you play. You have to go at least 5 innings to make it a complete game for district records and such. And we are in the 5th inning. That pitch misses. Now the count 3 balls and 1 strike. But assuming we get an out here fairly soon, that'll end the ball game because we won't need to go at bat. And that pitch misses. And so second walk of the game issued by Cade Mason to number 4, Ruiz. And that's the same guy who walked before, actually. The next batter, number 19, Riley Cantu.
As you mentioned, Bill, the run rule will go into effect here in the 5th inning, unless the Texans mount a pretty large rally here.
First pitch to Cantu hits the strike zone. No balls and 1 strike. It's interesting, though. The only base runner has been number 4, and he got walked twice, once in the 3rd and once in the 5th. Here's the next pitch. Low for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Coincidentally, Cruz probably the smallest batter for the Texans.
Yeah. And that pitch will hit the strike zone. Now the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So potentially 1 pitch away here from Cade Mason, pitching a 5-inning no-hitter and only 2 walks away from a perfect game. That pitch is high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Mason has pitched well. Again, good velocity. Didn't look like he was laboring at any point during the game.
Bouncing ball that's going to go to the second baseman. He'll flip it to the shortstop, who comes off the bag.
But the batter...
No. But he tags him when he went off the bag.
Yeah.
And so that's out number 3.
Cruz went off the bag, and that should be the game.
And that should be it. So I'll come back with just a few closing comments here in just a moment. That's the end of the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Houston High School and Lamar High School would like to thank everybody for showing up to support both teams this evening. If you're leaving us now, please buckle up and drive home carefully. The next game will be the freshman teams playing here in just about 15 to 20 minutes. In the meantime, be sure and stop by the concession stand and get some late dinner at the ballpark, a great way to enjoy the evening. Well, Al, just to kind of finish it off, Cade Mason, outstanding pitching. I think he wasn't even having to go 100%, which is nice for his arm. Give me some of your observations. I'm going to count up his strikeouts.
Really, story of the game. He was under control the whole game, kept ahead of the hitters, really pitched well, had good velocity, had, I believe, 8 strikeouts during the game. So really nine strikeouts
for Cade Mason.
During the game. So really the story of the game, well-pitched game. The other thing I'd say was the storyline is the well-hit balls by the Vikings. They hit several balls the first couple innings on the nose.
Yeah, definitely so.
And had one that almost went for a home run.
Yep. Just like you said, an eyelash or whatever, an eye blink away from going over the fence out there in left field.
Hit the base of the wall.
Well, clean fielding also by the Vikings tonight. And like I said, lots of hitting and taking advantage of pitching when they could. And the final score, Lamar 23, Sam Houston 0. That's going to close it off for this broadcast. We will be back here in just a little bit, about 15 minutes, give or take, for the freshman game. For Al Qualman, I'm Bill Frawley, and our producer back in the studio, Jay Ryan. Thank you so much for tuning in. VFND.